How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and we're going to be talking about NNDM. You guys know how much I love this company. I started building on my position and my long-term portfolio back when it was $6.75. And seeing what has been happening and the run-up that it ended up having today is something to smile at, especially when you're a shareholder and you know the value of the company. I know it's been a while since I covered NNDM, but when I do, which I've covered many times on the channel already, you guys know, if you can get NNDM below $10, that is a steal of a deal. Even when we were talking about and going over the offering that they were planning to do, this stock was literally in the 13s to the 14 area. We know we had a correction that we had recently, and that was an opportunity where you could have literally gotten NNDM in that $6 range. And here we are now, it closing at the current price where it's at. But before I continue, let me just break down the technical analysis for you guys so we can take a look at the support and the resistance levels so we have a good idea of the price action and what we can expect tomorrow, and also go over the news catalyst in regards to how their earnings turn out and so forth. Let's do it. All right, so we're going to be doing a quick technical analysis on NNDM, which ended up having a great day in the market today, being up 18.34% on the day. So the reason why I have this chart out right now, we are taking a look at the 1-day, 3-month chart, but I kind of made sure I wanted you guys to see what was on the screen here and why it's important to take notice of this, okay? So as you can see here, we had a big time dip. This was near the beginning of March. As you know, this happened with many stocks. Again, we were in a correction, right? And there was a dip where you literally could have took advantage of when NNDM got down to $6.50. Even if you were slow to it, you could have definitely got it somewhere in the $6 to $7 range. And this was a big time opportunity. I've made videos before on NNDM, and I always said if you can catch NNDM below $10, that is really, really good. You guys were aware of that. So having that opportunity, you would have been smiling right now if you would have seen, hey, NNDM finishing the day at $11.10. So as far as what I'm looking forward to is seeing NNDM start coming back and reclaiming back to the highs. But of course, this is going to be a gradual process, or who knows, it might even run quicker than we actually may think, right? But one of the things we need to pay attention to are where some of the support levels are, because considering these support levels will give us a good idea in regards to what the price action is going to be looking like. So as you can see here, we have some areas of support, and this 1110 area is an area we were familiar with in which we kind of really just moved right past it. So as far as what I'm looking for, especially going into next week, because as you know, you've probably heard about the stimulus checks and so forth, I'm looking for a strong move, and I want to see a test of the $12 range either by tomorrow or next week. Now let's take a look at the 1-day 5-minute chart so we can see how it performed today. So we can see right here, we ended up having a gap up. It ended up closing yesterday at around the 9.45 range, and it ended up gapping up to $9.95 with a pre-market high of $10. This was, of course, a resistance area for the rest of the pre-market, because as you can see, it was never able to pass this range again. So we ended up going downwards going into the market open, but again, this happened with a lot of stocks. But we also need to take into consideration that they also had their earnings, right? They had their earnings release. So we're going to have a huge dump here right at the open. And that's where you see we got down here to $8.82 on the low. But of course, if you didn't see that right away and so forth in the beginning, you would have definitely seen $9. When you see this, this is a great opportunity to buy. Like I said in videos, and I'm saying it now, anything below $10, NNDM is a good pickup. So even if you're looking for a short-term trade and you wanted to kind of swing on the momentum, you could have literally rode it all the way up to $11.16. Even if you were slow about it and you weren't able to catch these particular areas, as we know it doesn't stay there that long, that's around $11.07. So that is actually a really good move. That's literally over $2 you could have made from 9:30 to 11:30. So we can see this ended up being a resistance area because it was never able to pass 11.16 again. Even where it spent a little bit of time where we can judge from at 1107. It did get above that as it got closer to the close. But now we want to take a look at the support area. So we see there's some solid support area here around that 1075 and 1078 range. Let's call it that. So I would love to see NNDM actually maintain this going into the after hours. So just staying above the 1075 and up is really, really good sign. We see here in after hours doing a great job holding down even 1085. But in my case, if it's holding up above 1075 to after hours, we are good with that. Or the 1080. That's what I'm going to be looking for. We are doing a great job, as you can see right here, riding on the 21-day EMA, staying on trend in regards to, you know what, it's respecting this. So if you could see here, it's at $10.93. So even if we finish above the 21-day EMA, that looks good, and that continues a bullish pattern. So I hope you guys found this helpful. I hope you took advantage of the dips that we've seen in NNDM, even throughout the days that have passed during the correction. Maybe you had a position already, and maybe you took the opportunity to average down and so forth. This are one of these moves that you cannot, and I repeat, cannot. Next time you see it correct again, make sure you collect and you get those shares together, because again, an NNDM is a company that has a lot of growth potential. All right, so we're now on investorplace.com and we're taking a look at the results in regards to NNDM's earnings. So NNDM stock, what to know about Nano Dimensions after Q4 earnings. So this article was literally released at 3:40 p.m. So NNDM is up more than 17% today despite a significant earnings miss. NNDM is gaining in trading today after reporting Q4 and full year earnings for 2020. NNDM stock was up more than 17% on the day at the time of this writing. Nano Dimensions beat out revenue estimates by 97%, but missed on earnings per share with losses of 20 cents, significantly higher than expected losses per share of 4 cents. NNDM is an Israeli maker of 3D printers that make multi-layer printed circuit boards, PCBs. The company says it is the first to offer a 3D printer with these capabilities, though larger players in the 3D manufacturing field are also exploring these features. CFO Yal Sanders said revenues were lower than last year due to the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic, but better than the company had expected. He went on to say, "The company is focusing our efforts on fulfilling our growth plan, both internal through product development and R&D efforts, as well as through external merger and acquisition activities. Notably, the company's research and development expenditures more than doubled year over year. That increase was primarily from an increase in payroll and related expenses and an increase in material expenses due to increased R&D efforts." Last week, ARK Investment Management CEO Kathy Wood said she was impressed with the company's management and liked the growth the company had shown in broadening its technology focus. Wood specifically cited the company's contracts with defense agencies as a strong vote of confidence. Also today, the company announced its CEO and president would be transitioning to chairman of the board of directors. No replacement has yet been announced. NNDM stock has seen above average trading volume today of more than 42.5 million trades, compared to an average daily volume of just about 34 million trades. All right, so this is one of the good things that we wanted to see, and it's also part of the reasons why we saw a very strong run up in NNDM today, especially since they were able to beat out their revenue estimates. So for my final thoughts, I'm going to continue to be bullish on NNDM. This was a stock that was literally trading at in the $17 range not too long ago. And I do believe that it will reclaim that area. As far as how fast it's going to do that I can't give you a definite answer, but I can say that as long as it's making moves towards the upside, we can end up seeing it reclaim those highs at least within the next 4 to 6 months. I'm very conservative when it comes to my estimates. I don't like throwing anything ridiculous out there like some YouTubers may say, like, hey, you know what, it's going to $100 by the end of the year and all that stuff. I'm not that kind of person. I want to be realistic with you guys, and I want you guys to be aware. That also makes me want to put in the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice. So when you do invest, just know that you're doing it at your own risk. When it comes to companies like NNDM, it pulled back hard. But it's also one of the reasons why I always emphasize any company that you invest in, especially long term, you need to believe in the company. Because if you believe in the company, doesn't matter what kind of volatility or what type of actions you might see in the price, you can handle it. Usually when you panic sell or you just sell a particular stock, it's usually because you know what? You don't really care too much about it, or you don't really believe in the company at all, and you feel like it's just not going to be worth it. But if you do believe that the company has a lot of potential and there's growth in regards to the future, then you're more likely to hold it. And that's just the reality of it all. If you're looking for a short-term opportunity, doing swing trades or day trades, that's part of the reasons why I do the technical analysis, so you're aware of those support and resistance levels so you can use them to your advantage. I know NNDM is actually one of those stocks where a lot of people love to take advantage of that. And as far as what's going to be going forward, I know Kathy Woods from ARK Invest is very bullish on NNDM. They raise up a lot of cash. We know that they're trying to get doing some mergers and acquisitions and so forth. The future is really bright, and that's part of the reasons why I'm still continuing to be a shareholder. I also shared this on my Instagram as well. You can go check that out. I'm going to be using my Instagram more to give you guys more updates on the stocks we talk about when they run and when they move. Because, hey, there's so many videos I could do here on YouTube every day because I have a very short window as far as how much content I can make for you guys. So, hey, you can go check that out. I'll make sure that's in the description. I think I usually keep it in the description anyways. But we'll talk soon. Peace.